before we left there, they reported on the square dancing, and they said this was a great square dance. They said they saw kids come limping up to the square dancing spot. And they said when they left, they were bouncing and jumping, and they said this was a great group for square dancing. So you set a standard that's probably going to be hard for some others to match as they come here. Why do you think they left and made that trip? Any ideas?
They followed the prophet.
Hey, that's the key reason. They followed the prophet, didn't they? The prophet wanted them to gather to Zion, and so they came like he asked them to do.
I've just been amazed at the change that I've seen. I don't know very many of you youth in the stake, but to see you come together on Tuesday, some of you know one another very well, others maybe you've never met one another, but I've been so impressed as I saw you as we arrived Tuesday night. We set up camp, we took down camp, we trekked around, and then in a 24-hour period, it was amazing to me the closeness, the friendships, working together that each of you showed.
We've had a great time here. The only thing I can think, and I don't know how many of you remember the video that we showed you at the very end with that statement that Elder Walker read from Russell, or who was that by? Russell M. Ballard. It says that the saints, once they get through, they will say, all is well. All is well. And that's what my heart feels right now. We've worked hard. We've pushed hard. We've come together. I've seen you guys go from bickering and yakking to, getting together and pulling the handcart, doing what needs to be done, to thinking not of yourself, but thinking of other people and how you can help them. And we're here. We're finished. It's tough. We're sore. We've got blisters. We've pushed ourselves. We've gone beyond what we thought we could. And all is well. All is well.
Didn't think it was really a big deal, this trek, but I want to tell you guys, a mile has never seemed longer. Or 2 miles has never seemed longer. But, just what we did is just a small portion of what the pioneers had to do, They had to give up their entire lives from where they were living and go all the way to Utah, all those miles for months. And when they were here, it was really cold, and think of all how sore we are, plus being extremely cold and having to have your legs amputated and stuff. And it's just the faith of those people. I can't even imagine. I wish I had as much faith as them.
I'm grateful that I met the people that I did here. I learned something from everybody, and I took away a lot from the beautiful countryside and the experience of walking 43 miles in 3 days. And the spirit could be felt really strong here. If you just pause to think about it, just for a little bit, drop what you're doing, not throwing grass at people or something, or falling asleep in the shade, and just sit there and think about it, you can really feel it.
Day one was a life-changing experience. Especially when we got taken to the Mormon battalion and got our little pre-man talk. It was a great talk. And when we saw the girls coming out the sand mountain, you could just feel the tension between all the guys. All the girls were struggling. You could hear them breathe really hard. And you just wanted to go and get out. And I have a very high respect for women and a different perspective of life.
The first day I went trekking, I pulled one of the not-so-nice muscles to pull, pushing the handcart up the hill, which was a very wonderful experience for me. I learned during that experience that it wasn't the physical burden of pushing the cart up the hill, but it was what was inside me that weighed me down. And when I accomplished pushing that handcart up the hill, I felt so much better inside. I felt like something broke, like I changed right there.
Probably the most touching thing was when one of the elder missionaries had called for all the able-bodied men. I don't know what would happen if they called for that now. When the young women walked up that hill, we saw them struggling and pushing, and it was so amazing. I think I speak for all the guys when I say that we really had a lot of respect, a lot more respect than we had for the young women after that. And then that was even boosted higher when we saw some of the young women who, after struggling with pulling those carts up, came down and helped the ones who were struggling still. And still just walking and seeing people helping each other along. It's just been a life-changing experience.
When I have walked so far, the handcart starts pushing me. Until then, prove me. To be shaped and molded by your plan. And if you'll take this heart, willful as it seems, and through your mercy refine me until I'm complete. Though I'm weak now, you can make me strong till on a wall arrows cannot harm me. Till my faith leads me into a grove of trees. When every nail's in place before the rains and floods come down. and humility has chased away the pride. Until the day that through your grace I'm welcomed home. Until then, prove me. You have felt the warmth of the fire. You have seen a glimmer of light. It's something that you have been missing inside. Something that you have been longing to find. Hold on to the yearning, and wherever you are on the journey, live like you believe, live like you know. It's one sure way your faith will grow. Listen to your heart, search in your soul, and you'll find the strength that you need. His light, the gift of His peace, when you live like you believe. There are things you have to let go. You might feel you're just hanging on when you find yourself alone and afraid, questioning all the choices you've made. Hold on to the burning. He's leading you on through the journey. Live like you believe, live like you know. It's one sure way your faith will grow. Listen to your heart, search in your soul, and you'll find the strength that you need. His light, the gift of His peace, when you live like you believe. Hold on to the yearning, and wherever you are on the journey, live like you believe, live like you know. It's one sure way your faith will grow. Listen to your heart, search in your soul,
I make a plea. Go in a spirit of reverence and respect, and know that you are walking on hallowed ground. These are hallowed areas, especially so at Martin's Cove and the unmarked burial grounds on the other side of the cove. As you go down the back trail, you'll see a flat grassy area on the right-hand side. Know that that is where at least 56 pioneers were buried. Buried, I say, not in the ground, but in the snow, because the temperature at that time was 11 degrees below zero, and there was 18 inches of snow. It's impossible to dig a grave, but they were able to cover those bodies with the snow. And after they left, the numerous wolves in the area devoured the bodies. Just know that it's a sacred and hallowed area.
Whatever lies ahead, it is good to reflect upon the work of those who labored so hard and gained so little in this world, but out of whose dreams and early plans, so well nurtured, has come a great harvest of which we are the beneficiaries. Their tremendous example can become a compelling motivation for each of us. For each of us is a pioneer in his own life, often in his own family, and many of us pioneer daily in seeking to do God's will and lift and serve those around us.
Our goal is to hopefully provide you with a wonderful spiritual experience. That you look at these pictures and never again the same without bringing a tear to your eye and a tug at your heart and a remembrance of the spirit that you felt while you were here. Because it's powerful. This is a great experience. I encourage you to leave your worldly mentality behind. You're now a pioneer. Place yourself as Joseph McBride and waking up in the morning and finding your father dead. And now the majority of the responsibility lies on your shoulders to get your family to Salt Lake City. Imagine if you were that young girl I read about this morning who had to carry her 4-year-old brother on her back because her mother was sick and had to ride in the car. And she had to milk the cow in the morning, provide breakfast, start the fire, graze the cow, take it down the trail, and help with the family to get them along the road. She was your age, and that was her responsibility. Place yourself in that experience. How would you handle it? Can you do it? The pioneers showed you that they could. And you have the opportunity to hear, to prove to yourself that you can too.
Nice it is, but the tent's getting set up pretty nicely.
I hate these kinds of things.
Yeah. I have an organizer, so we could go. Maybe you want to
Oh, sorry. Whatever fluffs your pillow.
Yes, that's how mine was.
Oh, yeah. I do too.
Around 10 o'clock, I'll be out. It's good.
Hey, girls driving, remember those wheels are wider than you are.
What'd you say? Oh, I did. He called himself Milky. He's like, but you can call me Milky. That was kind of music, yeah. Yeah.
This area was dedicated in 1992 by President Gordon B. Hinckley. He was then an apostle. And he was able to get access through some of the people here to be able to go up. And when you go up through the cove and then you come back down, there's a monument up there where he and his wife and some other people who were allowed to come in here stood and he prayed and dedicated this area in memory of those handcart pioneers, the immigrants from England and Europe who suffered so much and died here in 1856, just 150 years ago. In any case, it is hallowed ground that you will be walking on. We hope that you, as you go up through the cove, will be able to catch the spirit that is here. And I wanted to read something to you. It was a quote that I came across the other day, and it's a quote by Boyd K. Packer. The Spirit does not get our attention by shouting or shaking us with a heavy hand. Rather, it whispers. It caresses so gently that if we are preoccupied, we may not feel it at all. And I certainly hope that you can focus and concentrate so that you might feel the Spirit that is here. On November 2nd, they arrived at the fort at Devil's Gate. Now you have to kind of visualize what was going on there. Number one, again, it was freezing. The storms were continuing. It was reported that it was 11 degrees below zero. Well, there wasn't much shelter. And the buildings there, which they called a stockade or fort, could not accommodate any, more than probably 40 or 50 people. The reason they came up here was twofold: to get out of the wind and also to find more firewood. Some 50, over 50, I think it was 56, that in President Hinckley's dedicatory prayer, he mentions 56 people died up there. As you walk up through the cove, and you'll go around this mountain, and then you'll wind up, and you'll come to a place which has a sign that says Lower Cove. That's really the beginning of where this happened. And that as you go up that trail to the right, and you'll go up along what they call a stabilized sand hill that makes this cove or this ravine. As you go up there, look to your right, and maybe in your own mind's eye, you can picture 500 or 600 people trying to survive the winter snows and wind in that location. Now that's where they camped. You're going to come to the top. There's a little amphitheater there. If you have time, take a few moments and maybe meditate up there. And there's some placards up there also you can read. But keep in mind that on the other side is where they bury their dead. There are no markers. There are no grave markers up there at all. It was so cold, they could not actually bury them. They put them in the snow. And they could hear the wolves come in at night. To devour the remains of those who died.
Back it on the go. Come on. Back it on the go. Or just carry it.
Wait, where's the bait? Oh. Maybe they want to hear Is that so big here?
We're off.
Father, can you hear me? Will you listen to me for a while? Please, can you make the day warm? The sun will dry the dewy grass and all will be well. And Father, make my steps a little larger. I'll try not to fall behind. Also, bless my shoes to help them last another mile or so. Father, I'm so hungry. I've had nothing to eat for a while. Please, can you fill our grain barrel? My mother can make a flour cake and all will be well. But Father, when the food is gone, forgive me. I'll try hard not to complain. Also, bless my mother, dry her tears and help her smile again. Father, I'm so weary. Can I stop and rest here for a while? Please keep the cold from blowing. Bring on the night so I can dream and all will be well. But Father, if I sleep too long, forgive me, wake me up, don't leave me behind. But if sleep still keeps me, Father, in your arms, please carry me home.
Way to go, guys.
We rock!
Good job.
Okay, listen up, young men. I've been authorized by the President of the United States, President Polk, who has been working with your prophet, Brigham Young, to organize a battalion to fight the Mexican War. He has authorized me to enlist you in that army right now. Therefore, say your goodbyes. Everybody follow me up the trail, make a line of 3, and we'll assemble.
The day we climbed the hill, we the women, the girls and women, without the men to help us because they had been taken away from the Mormon battalion, was one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had. Because we couldn't do it, except we did. We pulled together. The girls worked harder than they've ever worked. And we managed to get to the top of a hill we just knew we couldn't reach. The men were in tears. The boys and men were actually in tears at having to watch us struggle alone. The power of the priesthood became really clear in that. These men knew, and boys, and young boys, knew to obey the priesthood, even in the face of that kind of difficulty of watching the people they cared about struggle. The youth have pulled together like true families. They have become families in the way that they've defended each other, the way they've helped each other. In our particular family, we had a girl who struggled to walk very much. Our girls would go back and walk with her. Our boys would ask her if she needed them to take her backpack. They would pace themselves to her. Every family had a situation like that. Everyone in this camp has become a different person because of what we have experienced. One day of hardship was bad. 3 days of hardship was horrible. We're all standing here with sore feet and sore muscles and thinking that our bodies are spent, but our spirits are soaring. because we have come to know not only our pioneer ancestors, but that God believes in us. We can believe in ourselves too.
I thought it was a wonderful experience. It was great to see the youth of the stake together. It was a fabulous opportunity for the adults of the stake also to bond together in service to the youth, and what a wonderful time we had this week. It was great. The most striking part was the opportunity we had at the Mormon Battalion when the young women and the women had to take the carts up, and the men were instructed to stand on the side and watch, and that was just so antithetical to what we're taught in the priesthood. And I think having that memory will last me a lifetime. Watching the good women of our stake struggling up that hill and then not being able to offer any assistance was very difficult, and my heart went out to them and helped me to remember the obligation of the priesthood and the great blessing that is in our lives, and just helped me to remember what a great blessing that is, and it needs to be used properly.
What do you hope that the youth are going to take away from this?
Well, I don't know if if all the youth could take away any one thing. I just hope that each one of them has been able to develop themselves to another level. And if they came in at one level, they went out at a higher level. Or if they came in not knowing something, that in some way their testimony's been strengthened. With 75 youth, I don't think there would be one thing that each one could walk away with. But if each one of them was enlightened in some way and their testimony strengthened, or if it even began through this trek, then I think that would be a successful takeaway. I'm very glad I'm here. It was wonderful to be here. It was great to be with the kids, and wonderful to be with the adults that were on this trip as well.
I think my favorite part was the Mormon Battalion. To be able to see the power of womanhood as they were determined to push those carts up and over that hill, and to see them run back, and to see those young girls run back, and to help out the others, and for them to all work together. I think that was a great thing, and it was great in the way in which it helped the young men to also see that the women can do it and to gain respect for them. I think that was great. I'm tired, I'm sore, but I think all in all the kids had a great experience. I think we pushed them to the limits where they were able to get some type of perception of what it was like for the pioneers in that day, and hopefully help them to realize that they are strong and they are powerful, and they have that within them to be able to overcome the obstacles that are in their paths, and to overcome their rocky ridges in their life when they need them. So I think it was a great experience for everybody.
November 1856, just west of Devil's Gate, a place they now call Martin's Cove, sacred ground of faith. Some hours ago we somehow crossed sweet water sheets of ice. At times it took away your breath, at times it took your life.
The sky is growing dark again, there's little food to eat, and chilling wind cuts to the bone. I cannot feel my feet. I know that Zion lay just ahead as I rest and close my eyes. Well, I wake to see the morn made paradise.
Go bring them in from the plains, go bring them in from the storm. Like a fire, the spirit's burning, bring them in and keep them warm. Go bring them in from the plains, go bring them in from the cold. Wrap your loving arms around them, bring his peace to their souls.
Now tonight I dream of Kirtland, Zion's camp's holy test. I dream of independence,
liberty and far west. Tonight I dream of Nauvoo, Brother Joseph's iron will. Tonight I dream of Carthage, and how we miss him still.
And tonight I dream of Bethlehem, Nazareth, and Galilee. Tonight I dream of miracles from our Master and our King. Somewhere it starts as whispers, then turns to shouts so clear. Wake up, it's not a dream. The Valley Boys are here.
Bring them in from the plains, bring them in from the storm. Like a fire, the spirit's burning. Bring them in and keep them warm. Bring them in from the plains, bring them in from the cold. Wrap your loving arms around them. Bring His peace to their soul. Now it's me who walks these steps just west of Devil's Gate, a place we now call Martin's Cove, sacred ground of faith. Silence and in reverence, sweet water we now cross, and hear the echo of their prayers, their tears, and their love.
And I still needs a light that shines, this truth we need to share. To honor those who came this way, we'll lift them and we'll care. And on our backs and in our hearts, we'll carry and proclaim, and heed a prophet's call once more. Go bring them from the plain.
Go bring them in from the plains. Go bring them in from the storm. Like a fire, the spirit's burning. Bring them in and keep them warm. Go bring them in from the plains. Go bring them in from the cold. Wrap your loving arms around them. Bring His peace.
Go and bring them in from the plains.
Go bring them in from the storm.
Here's Money Express. The mail's here. The mail's here. Want your mail? Come get it. Come on, guys. Mail call.
Come on, Mel.
B1.
Right here.
Hold on a second.
I need to go sit down. I need to sit down on a bench.
A3.
Let's go sit down on a bench.
B3.
Let me check my stuff.
Where's B3?
Oh, they there.
They gave me a picture. Hey, you got on the Pony Express. From England. Figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know how they got it. It's only been like 2 days.
That morning, she's like,
She said that.
Came up.
11 and a half.
We had it pretty easy until we got to the Platte River. It had got cold and it was getting worse, but we hit the ice storms at the Platte River. When we got to the Platte River, Captain Martin carried Alicia across on his horse, but my mom wasn't going to have any of that. She took off her shoes and socks and she put them in the handcart and she jumped in and she pulled that handcart. She got right in the middle and the handcart tipped. Boy, I didn't wait for nothing. I didn't take my shoes off. I just jumped right in and held up on that handcart till the men could come and help.
Sometimes we doubt ourselves. And if you could take a look at this as a success, that you were able to do this, and in some cases this might have been the most difficult thing that you've ever done. Not just youth-wise, but adult-wise as well. From a physical standpoint, this might have been it. And so when you have those times in your life where things get tough, you need to build up these memories and these thoughts in your mind of positive experiences that have happened to you where you have succeeded, and draw on that. And draw on the experiences of your parents, of your church leaders, and specifically of the scriptures and those of the scriptures, because that's what's going to buoy you up in your time of need.
I'm sure glad.
Welcome, pioneers.
We made it so far.
It took them 27 hours to go from where they camped that night to Rock Creek Hollow. And during that day, they experienced extreme weather conditions, 18 inches of snow. It was very cold, and they lost 15 people that day on their way from that camp to where they ultimately camped here at Rock Creek Hollow. When you get there today, you'll be able to walk back in there and see where they have a mass grave, where they buried those people that they lost along this particular trail. It's kind of hard to compare what they experienced in 1856 to what we're experiencing today. 85 degrees. We had something good to eat. We've got good shoes, the right clothing to protect us, and it's kind of hard to appreciate what they may have experienced. You know, you're going to walk in about maybe 6 hours or 7 hours what it took them 27 hours to do in the worst of conditions. For those people who died, or who ultimately, you know, had to be put in wagons and carried the rest of the way into the Salt Lake Valley, do you think our Heavenly Father considers them failures? No, I don't think so. You know, there were people that, for whatever reason, were able to make it to the Salt Lake Valley and didn't lose fingers or toes or legs. There were others that lost hands. A sister that had her legs amputated, both legs amputated below the knees, and she ultimately had several children and was active in the church and raised a righteous family. They're not failures. Those who died along the way aren't failures in any respect. He's just as willing to receive those into his kingdom as he did the others. But those people that survived learned a great lesson as they came through this challenge of their life. And something for us to remember as we finish our journey today and throughout your life, what those people experienced and how that might pertain.
Our burdens are not always physical, like a backpack loaded full of such a delicious lunch that we've got today, but sometimes the burdens are the weight of sin or transgression. And just like these young men came back and carried my backpack and my wife's 2 liters of water, the Savior does that for us if we let him. But we have to let go of those things. For a while there, I didn't want them to take my backpack. I wanted to show, yeah, I can do this.
I can do it.
But I was awfully glad when they took it from me.
I think the one thing that really kept the saints going is, and it's something that we need to keep forefront in our mind, is life is an eternal journey. And I think those saints that made that journey, whether it was the pioneers or the handcart company that came through here that we're kind of remembering at this time, what kept them going was the eternal nature of their journey. And you know, whether they died or not, that they were working to go home. Working whether it was their eternal home or their new home in Zion.
I would hope that they would learn to rely upon the Spirit, rely upon the Lord, and to realize that life is going to be challenging and difficult, but if they can get through this physical thing, physical experience and trek that they went through these past few days, and realize that they need to rely upon themselves and rely upon the Lord, that the trials that they go through in life, they can hopefully look back at this experience and say, well, if I did the trek back in 2006, then I can overcome this with the Lord's help. Brother Nunley and I did this last year, and for some reason it seemed a little bit more challenging this year. But just you know, getting up every morning and getting ready and walking the 10 miles the first day, the 14 miles the second day, and then the 14 or so miles the third day. It's just that physical challenge. But at the same point, I think most rewarding was to see that the youth work together and help one another. To see that the first night where they really didn't know everybody, the families were going to get to know one another, to see the difference as a 24-hour period, kids helping out, and then the day after that, people just pitching in and helping out, and just the teamwork and camaraderie that was happening throughout the camp. I think
it's just going to be something that the kids will never forget. I've been out talking with the kids a lot, and they're tired, exhausted, but they've had a great experience, and I think the purpose behind having the trek was successful, and that the kids are learning, had a deeper, greater appreciation for the pioneers, and had a greater appreciation for their Savior.
I think mission was accomplished at what we originally set out in the APYW meetings back in November. So I think the kids have had a spiritual experience. We'll know how spiritual it was here in about an hour when we have testimony meetings. So I think everything went well, and I'm sure that if you ask the kids, they'd probably say they'd do it again, probably not tomorrow.
I think the kids on an experience like this learn something about themselves that they didn't know before, and they learn something about other people as well. They find that people that they've not known very well and didn't realize could be friends to them, and were willing to do things for one another. They just learn things about themselves and about other people that they didn't know before. This was a great experience for the kids and the adults. I think they've had I won't say a good time, but I think that they've had a rewarding time and learned some things and experienced some growth. And by the way it sounds over across the creek there, I think they're having fun already, and they've had a good time this year. As a stake, I would sure like to see us try to do this with the youth, or something similar to this, every 4 years. It gives the younger kids something to look forward to. It becomes a good tradition for the youth that they can look forward to, and it becomes a wonderful memory for them as they go on and remember their experience here in the stake as they were growing up and participating in the youth program.
Hey, my name is Alex Williams, and I'm from Minot First Ward. Well, this trek was pretty much awesome. I really enjoyed working together with my family. They were awesome. I just loved it. Like, the way they worked together. Probably my favorite part, or most touching part, was watching the young women come up that sandy hill with the hand carts. And it also was probably the most painful part, because we had all the guys were lined up there, and it was pretty much awkward. We just wanted to help so bad, and we felt so guilty, and it was really glad when that was over, because we all pitched in and helped pull them. That felt really good, and it was a touching moment. And I'm just grateful for all the youth and leaders and all they've done. It's been a really spiritual experience.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Fife from Minot Second. I pretty much like this trek. It was fun to meet everyone. It was hard at times, but it was still really fun. We got a lot out of it. I learned so many things, and I got to meet so many new people. It was cool to see how hard the pioneers had to work, and I just gained a whole new respect for them and a whole new respect for the men and how much they do for us. And with pulling the hand carts, it was really hard to do it all by ourselves. And yeah, it was really cool. I liked it. And other than some blisters, I think I did okay, and I may just live.
Hi, my name is Desiree Kruger. I'm from Midlothian, South Dakota. That's my branch. I'm from, the trek so far has been awesome. I have never experienced anything like it before, but it's been one of the most amazing things that I have ever done in my life. I think the thing that I'm going to take away from it the most is the appreciation for the saints that actually have done it. Before I came here, it's it was no big deal, I can do it any day. But now, after trekking across the middle of nowhere and feeling the pain, it's just, I have a lot more appreciation for them.
How many blisters do you have?
None, actually.
Okay.
I was really surprised about that, but I do hurt all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time I've ever in my life gotten sunburned. Okay, I didn't think I'd be able to make it through the whole entire miles that we had to make. And at some point in time, I felt like I wanted to sit down and just not get back up again. But I got up and I finished it. And I guess I found out that I had more faith than I thought I did. And that's really amazing. To find out that I can do something that I didn't think I would be able to do.
I'm Isaac Wilson. I'm from the Minot 2nd Ward, and I came down here to the middle of nowhere in Wyoming to go on the Pioneer Trek. It's worth it. We went, 30, 40 miles, and everyone's tired, but everyone's just feeling great. Because the spirit's so strong with everyone here walking the same trails the pioneers did. And we can just see a little bit of what they had to go through. We only went 40 miles and they went, I don't even know. And they had to pull the handcarts the whole time, and we just had to walk. And you can just sort of see just how painful it was for them and what they must have gone through and how much faith it would have taken for them to just make it through alive and to not just sit down at the edge of the trail. And it's a great experience. It's a learning experience. You can find out more about yourself and whether you can actually make it and force yourself to come the whole distance, even when you're tired, even when your feet hurt. I even have some blisters to prove that I went on this journey. And I'm glad I came and I'd do it again.
I'm Amanda Miller. I'm from Bismarck, and what I liked most about the trek was actually pulling the wagon up the hill. It just made me feel, even though I was really tired and stuff, it just found more strength to pull it up. It just made, it just made me feel like I was stronger than I actually have been. And walking has given me better appreciation for how much the pioneers have had to do this, and given me a better understanding of what they've had to go through. On this trek, the youth have actually come together a lot more. The first day was just all spread out, and then today it's like everyone was helping each other. Like they were coming together like one happy family. They're just helping each other out through everything. This is like a life-changing experience. I've never had something like this ever else in my life. I'll keep it with me forever.